I'm so excited. We had such a blast the other night at our Zoom class. Thank you so much, everybody that joined us. I'm so excited. We had so many on Zoom, and definitely it broke a record. Most people I've ever had on Zoom, other than my master class that I had for my wagon wheel. And the recording of that is definitely still there if you guys want to check that out. But definitely, I promised you guys, 6 designs, and I was talking about this one here, my poinsettia that I did last year, and definitely I was hoping it to be like a little bonus for you guys at the end, but we just had so much fun, and we ended up going overtime, and it was like 4 hours. We didn't get finished till 10 o'clock, and I didn't get to do this one, so I thought, you know what, I want to do another one anyways. I was playing around with more glitter balls, right, the clear ones. I poured glitter in, and I did some more custom mixes. And this one, I definitely had some little bit bigger, chunkier hexagons, and then really fine glitter. So I had some little darker glitters and some lighter, flecky kind of glitters that I pre-mixed together into a cup, and I ended up pouring that one into this one. And then again, it has a bunch of different glitters, right? So different colors, different darknesses, right? Definitely depends on whatever colors you're doing, and then the contrast that you want to have with the ball and what colors you choose to do it, right? So I already did it with the blues and aquas, a little bit of Parisian blue, maybe to darken it a little bit, similar to some of our other designs I showed you in the class. We can add just a little bit of metallic to it if you want. This ball here, I did do it on a ball that was already done. I didn't paint the background. It was already this color, so I was trying to do like a monochromatic kind of style with it. And then instead of pouncing in little centers, I just put in some rhinestones in there, right? So definitely depending on what colors you want to do. You want to do it in blues, you want to do it in pinks and purples or reds, or, you can do it with the white glitter, with the red poinsettia. It's really endless what you guys are going to do. All right, so I put a little bit of plate paint here, and I thought I would do a nice green one for you and show you a quick design. Quick. And show you how I did this a little bit. Okay, so basically it's all the holly leaf kind of style that I was doing for this poinsettia, and I was starting off with the background with them trying to be really more picky and definitely looking more like the leaves, and then as you're getting closer to the center, then I started softening up with those petals a little bit, so then they're a little softer peaks instead of like a bigger peak. And then I also downsized my brush as well, so that it would be easier for you if you wanted to get a little smaller and smaller as you get inside the last few strokes. So definitely, you're doing it on an oval that's a little bit more flat. You don't have the whole round that you have to worry about as much. It's definitely a little bit flatter. So I'm going to start off by just dampening my white glass brushes. I was telling you guys earlier, definitely is what I like to use. And we're going to go with mostly citrus and white. Right? I want this to be just a little bit lighter than my ball color. And because this has a little tiny bit of blue, like it's almost like a emerald kind of green, the lighter colors are definitely going to be a little bit brighter. And then if you wanted to match this a little tiny bit, then definitely pick up some teal. Okay, instead of sap, you can definitely use a little bit of teal instead. Right, I'm going to add just that little bit of color into the mix. But I definitely want the higher end to be like the citrusy kind of color, nice and bright. And then only adding just a little bit of, a darker color down at the base. Okay. So the first ones we're doing is stretch straight out. So I want my leaves to definitely, there's going to be like a little bit of a circle of space that I want to leave in here, right? So I'm working from this outer edge here, right? And you can definitely use a smaller brush if you want. And I like having these where they just kind of go right around the edge. And then I can continue this design all the way on the back. Okay, so I added more leaves, I added a few scrolls, and then slowly working itself into like a little bit of a spiral. and adding a lot more bling to go around the back. Okay, so that's what I did. But you can definitely do just the front and then write somebody's name in the back. And, you know, do whatever you like around the side. Okay, so those little U strokes and then to a point. Okay. And I like to go ahead and do all of my leaves at the same time. And then they're letting them dry a little tiny bit. And if you feel like you need to have, you know, more coverage, then you can definitely go over them again. Okay, so I'm just using the multi-surface. I talked about using the enamels. Definitely it gives it a lot higher shine. And sometimes it's nice to have the semi gloss. So hopefully you guys can see. I'm just trying to take my time and get up on my chisel to a point. Right, a little bit difficult around this corner here. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Fill that in a little bit. Okay, so it's really coming in around the sides. Put another one over here. Definitely it's nice to use the big brush because then you don't have to press so hard. Right? Putting that out. And yeah, it's just all about having fun, guys. There's so many different possibilities. I again give you guys a little extra bonus demo here for everybody. But I really hope that you'll join me for the recording now. And you're going to watch out on my page because I do give you guys coupon codes to use every once in a while. I have different promotions throughout the year. And then you'll be able to save. Okay, so I'm trying real hard not to touch my wet paint. I'll put another one over here. Press, press, right over to the edge to get that point. A bit more paint on the tip. And to the point. Okay. So now we can start moving a little bit closer to the center. Okay, I'm going to start layering a little bit more. Try not to shake. Sometimes I do 2 little points, sometimes I'll do 3, just depends upon the size. And now I'm doing more like a flower shaping. Okay. And as I'm getting a little bit smaller, then I'm doing it a little bit less pointy. Okay, so I just have to go over it again just to fix my gradient a little bit. Okay, do another one here at the top. If you guys were watching at my Zoom class, oops, I went backwards there. I'd love to hear your input about how you felt about the class. You know, where was your aha moments, and or maybe your favorite part about the class. And comment down below. And share how much you had fun. Alright, so again, I'm just keep going around. Layer a little bit if you like to. Right, they don't all have to be right beside each other. And as you're getting smaller, smaller. Right, lighten up on that touch. So first you want to try to make them as big as possible. I love pushing myself to see how small can I make that stroke with this big brush. Okay, so now I'm going to start layering a little bit more here too. In between your brick layering, right? So between you have two petals, you're going to try and do another one. And definitely I find it easier from starting from the, oops, I keep going backwards. Definitely I find it easier starting from the bottom of the leaf. Oops, too globby. Okay, soften that glob out. Okay. Get your points all pointing out and up. Right? You start from the bottom. But as you get smaller, right, they're starting to get softer. You can definitely do them all in one stroke all the way around. Okay, so a little bit of a clean brush. I was going up around this little curve here, so it kind of hit the bump. Hit a speed bump. And definitely as you're getting closer to the center, you definitely want to make sure that you have that teal in there a little bit more. Okay, always going into that pivot. See how they're getting softer and softer. Right, make sure you fix your gradients. Keep adding all of your colors, not just the white. Okay. Getting tinier and tinier, and definitely a little bit brighter white as you get into the center. Alright guys, you want to get a little tinier? Yeah, definitely we'll get out a 12. Right, the white brushes only come in the 10, 3/4 and 12, and smaller, they don't have a 16. Okay, so there we go. See how many layers you can get in there. Lots of dimension. A little bit more white. Again, I try to do this quick for you guys. Okay. And then definitely make sure that it's nice and dry. And then you can glue on some of your little gems. Alright. And then then also you can add more of those scrolls. Okay, so I'll try and take a picture of this guy for you guys and post it on my page later when I do the backside. Right. So another thing too you can do while it's still wet, right? I just definitely want to make sure that this paint here is a little bit wet. Right, so we're going to be on the ball and definitely quick. Okay, so this could be dry, but definitely what you want to do is go over those strokes again, so maybe you want to perfect them anyways. Right, so you're going to let it dry a little bit, go over these center little strokes again, and just wet the paint. Right, try to do it quick, and if it's nice and dry on the back petals and just wet on these ones, then the glitter will definitely only stay in that area. Right. Yeah, and just be more like a pointed teardrop by this point. Okay, and then I'm going to just sprinkle in very lightly, just in the center mostly, and then just a little tiny bit of a fade out so it's not so heavy in one spot, and then just very lightly twinkle it out. But I definitely want it to be really nice and heavy in the very center. Okay, so nice and bright green. And I sometimes will get packages of glitter, and then you can buy these little bottles empty at your craft store sometimes, and then I'll fill them all in to these little empty bottles, and then that way I can have a little bit more of a pour. So yeah, there's definitely lots of glitter out there. Some of them already have like a little spout on there that you can use, like our spice, and then let this dry really, really good. Alright, and then you can do the back side. So this is one that I had done the other night to finish as well. And I was playing around with my glitter and my Barely Art glue. Like I said, I did find another company on Amazon. They're precision craft glue, and what's making it precision is not the glue or how well it sticks, it's these little nozzles. Okay, so hopefully you can see that there's one little really tiny, and then there's one a little bit bigger, right? And I didn't clean this properly. You got to really make sure that you're rinsing these out with soap and water, and plunge it with your little pin that it comes with. I ended up bending it because I was pushing so hard on the hard glue. And really make sure that you're getting through to the other side, right? And underwater, make sure you're cleaning out that old glue before you put it away when you're done. Alright, because I didn't do that last time, and then it was so hard I couldn't, during the class it kind of stopped me there, and I had to use this one here. Right, so make sure that they're good and clean, and you'll never have a problem with them, right? And then also I decided to finish this ball, and I have like a little bit of a old Tupperware here. And if you're indoors and you want to keep your glitter kind of clean, right, I used an old makeup blush brush and then just dust it off into an old Tupperware. Or what I was saying to you guys as well is that, you know, I have a little vacuum brush that helps to clean the corners of my house. You know, definitely it works great to pick up all that glitter. Just vacuum it up as well before it starts traveling all around your house. Alright. So definitely I use the thinner glue attachment for this side. Okay, and then where's my original one I showed you guys earlier? It's a little bit thicker. Okay, can you see the difference between that one and that one? So I was trying real hard to go as thin as I could with this nozzle, but this one definitely makes it a lot easier. Right, really super little thin lines. and just popping up those roses around the edges. Right, if you don't have any rhinestones, then definitely dots, and then adding glitter to your wet paint. Right. So I hope you guys had fun, and definitely I can't wait to see all of your balls and your creations. Share them in our community group, and definitely tag me in your posts when you're sharing them in other places, and you can put them on Donna's group and wherever you want to share them. And definitely private message me on Facebook if you have any questions at all, guys. Thanks so much, and happy holidays.